Right, guys, welcome to the panel. So we're going to have a nice little conversation about a few little talking points here. So we've got myself, Paul Nolan. I'll let everybody else introduce themselves as the mic gets passed around. And we have some statements that we're going to discuss, some of which should generate some nice conversation. So the first statement is this. Everybody is focusing on themselves way too much and not being efficient. Yeah, that's a bit personal, isn't it? We should work together more to reach a lot more people together. So, who wants to go first? Introduce yourself first, please.
Hi everyone. My name is Janko, Zett. So I run events in Amsterdam and in Sofia as well. We run the Sugar Factory Saturday nights, Tuesday nights, and also just started already for a couple of years in Sofia. We're pushing the scene there, and I've seen most of you there already. So again, about the statement. Can you reread it?
In English this time?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Give us a bit more time to think.
Okay. Everybody is focusing on themselves way too much and not being efficient. We should work together more to reach a lot more people together.
So that's a statement actually that it has been going around for some time. And one of the things that especially smaller organizations complain the most is the heavy competition. So honestly, I can agree with this statement, and some of the really nice things I'm happy we're doing with here the people we meet in Amsterdam is we're doing exactly the opposite. Like one of the best things I can say about the 50 Hertz and the guys is that's their goal, that's our goal, to get the people together and for the smaller organizations to just start working and push the stuff more together. Because I actually agree. A lot of the people try to be selfish and you try to do everything yourself, and this is a business that, like most of you know, is based on networking. You cannot do anything if you're alone, anything by yourself. So that's my strong opinion.
Cool.
Nice one. Well, yeah, it's nice to hear that about our organization that we do. I'm Rens from Funk, and we formed 50 Hertz together with my team. And like Janko said, that's exactly what we're trying to accomplish, is to create something brand new that is not there and people really working together and not just sharing a post once in a while, but really getting together, sharing ideas, giving each other honest feedback and just saying like, oh yeah, that track is really great. And then like, okay, you know, just because it's on a promo from a label that you want to be on or something like that. So you're just being nice. But let's get real. Let's really give each other feedback so we can really grow, you know. And that's also why we work a lot with Paul Nolan. He actually teaches you how to really improve on your production skills, and that's part of the whole plan. And yeah, what I can say about, for instance, Techno Tribe is a unique concept in Amsterdam. They work together with a lot of settled big names, but they also let a lot of talents go on the stage and work together. And they created this kind of like techno family that comes together on a weekly basis, you know. And it's about the party, and people are coming for the party, and not because there's a certain name, just getting some people in for one night. No, but it's like a weekly thing, a weekly vibe that people come from, and we have to get more into that kind of stuff. And you can accomplish that if you work together and create something new instead of just putting some major names, which are great, you know, but just the major names on one flyer, you know, then you keep the same kind of thing, you know, and we try to create more room. So yeah,
hello, I'm UMEK,
nice
and my thought on that, for example, when we started the label 1605, we said we're going to sign artists exclusively on how tracks are, if they're good or not. It doesn't matter if you are a trance DJ, it doesn't matter if you're drum and bass DJ, we're gonna sign it, but it backfired really heavily, you know. And it's imagine we were doing like really good signing unknown artists and signing a lot of, you know, artists from ex-Yugoslavia, and suddenly all the feedback that we got, like, oh, now everybody's releasing on 1605, it's not special, it's this and that, and believe me, we are all struggling. We want to support new artists, but the feedback that we get, it's shitty, and it messes with your head, you know. Then you always have to find the right way to sign an very unknown artist to bring up a label to the next level, and then, you know, sign a new artist. And believe me, guys, it's so hard. No matter what you do, no matter how hard you try, this business is full of egos. and that's it. It's like every DJ, me included, it's full of ego, and everybody wants to be the best as he can. But yeah, I always collaborated with many artists. Right now, I'm doing versus production with a lot of guys, and I'm trying to help reach artists the next level. But believe me, it's so hard, especially in techno. If you ask me, this is the most elite, more elitist, the most elitist style of electronic music in the world. Believe me, I went out of techno a little bit and I've seen guys in other genres. They're way much more acceptable for cooperation and doing together. In techno, is if you don't wear a black shirt and if you don't use the proper bass drum, you get a red card and they kick you out of the league. So simple.
Yeah, those some nice words. I mean, especially coming from you, you know that you get a lot of the stuff there, and you've been in the game for some time. Anyways, my name is Tino. I'm from Las Vegas. We do have a party over there called Techno Taco Tuesday. We've been having that party for about 5 years. Something that actually resonates with the question is us, and especially in Vegas, you know, like experiencing in the early 2000s where there was tons of egotistic people that were just doing things on their own, and eventually that, you know, ended. And for me, it was kind of like an opportunity to come in and, after observing everything that was happening, to start putting a group together and actually bringing in all those DJs together, and then just create a bigger scene, you know. And so, like, especially in Vegas, it's a little bit tough to create a scene, just because it's a very young city, first of all, and then second, there's not that much culture, you know. I feel like you guys are lucky to have be in a place like this. It has like tons of culture, you know. Big cities like London, New York, LA. I mean, you guys have that on your side. So, and that obviously creates a little more competition. But if you guys work together, you guys can reach more things, you know. And so, anyways, we started this party. We got everybody situated in Vegas. Everybody started to collaborate, work with each other. I think that we kind of influenced a little bit in LA as well, because now in LA, a lot of the promoters are working together as well, based on the fact that they started to work with us together in some of our events and bringing them into Vegas and sharing that experience. Especially in this panel, we have somebody from LA, Ray Cash, that does a party over there as well. And like now, he works with more people. We work with a lot more promoters in LA. And so we try to go out of our city to meet more promoters that are doing the same thing. It feels like in the United States, everybody around the States, the parties are small, and they're going through the same situation that we all are. And I feel like, why not collaborate? Why not work with each other so that we can actually benefit each other's like scene and just grow. Like, at the end of the day, we're here for the music. We're not here to be in the spotlight. But I feel like that's the major key. You know, going back to like just there's the main source, which is the music. How can we spread that to the people that are just maybe getting barely into it or discovering that kind of music? How can we share the music that we produce and express ourselves through it and share that with everybody, you know? Like, I feel like that's the key. And so, like, now we're here in Amsterdam. This year we had an amazing collaboration. Actually, last year we did our first showcase, and then we met Renz from 50 Hertz. We met the guys from Airborne, Techno Tribe. And so, like, now we're collaborating with each other. You know, we have this panel. We actually have, you know, like we did on Tuesday, we did Techno Taco Tuesday at Techno Tribe's event or venue, which is Sugar Factory, and we had an awesome time. You know, now like this is family over here. You know, so it's cool how like collaborating with people even across the globe, like it just brings us together through just music. You know, and so like at the end of the day, working together, we can do like huge things, man. Like it's very, very simple, you know. Like why do you want to work by yourself, just doing this own thing to be in the spotlight? Eventually it's gonna be too much work for you, you know. And if you actually share your passion with other people that have the same kind of motivation that you do, you guys can do bigger things, you know.
Hi, I'm Christopher Coe. I've started a label with Carl Cox called Awesome Soundwave, and we're focusing on live acts, live electronic acts. But actually, it's just all about me, really. That's the... yeah.
There's always one, isn't there?
Yeah, no, to be honest, I mean, I don't give a fuck about anybody else. It's just about me. I just want to be famous and make loads of money. No? Is that... I'm in the wrong place. Oh, sorry.
That's the other panel.
Coming from the guy who spends hours with other producers helping them out, right? Yeah.
Look, it's a dichotomy, of course. I mean, we, as individual artists, want to express our individual artistic expression. That's really important. I mean, that's actually where a lot of music comes from. And in techno, as you all know, really, it is quite a solitary practice in lots of ways. You know, collaborations are rarer than actual solitary working in the studio for hours on, you know, getting that kick drum right. You know, we all know this. It's pretty obvious, and of course, so that it makes it a bit of a solipsistic sort of practice. I do completely agree that, of course, collaboration and particularly dialogue is really important. I think that a scene that doesn't collaborate, or a group of people that don't collaborate, can atrophy. And I've got an interesting and unique experience because I've worked both in Australia and in Amsterdam for many years. And actually, when I came to Amsterdam, I found that the Dutch people are amazing at collaborating. I really love. It was refreshing. Yeah, there's fucking snobby wankers everywhere in techno. I mean, there are people. Oh yeah, I can't be with this label because they released this other guy and he's cheesy. Whatever. But in general, I found that collaborations here were a lot more fluid and a lot more supportive. In Australia, where there's a smaller population and therefore a smaller scene, people were a lot more wanting to hold on to their patch. But that's also changed because we are now global. Because of the internet, we are now more in touch. You know, we could email each other and maybe collaborate on something. I think that we have to find the right balance. I think as an artist, you have to also have your vision and you have to follow that. And if you can collaborate with someone as part of that, that's great. If you can do it all yourself, that's also great. But I think that it's about finding the right balance between it. And I do agree, it's really difficult. It's really difficult to get a new artist over the line. And that's kind of what we're hoping to do with this label, and maybe we'll fall asunder, but I think it's about finding the right balance.
Yeah, not even about just collaborating as in doing music together or releasing a new upcoming artist, but also like how can you look at specific features in the scene, like for instance you're focusing now on a live section that have been out of the spotlight maybe a little bit for your idea. That's why you started it, you know, like hey, these guys need some more attention, these guys need some more boost, like as a specific group. And maybe to make a nice bridge, you're involved in a really nice also a project, like an online concept, which is also helping out a lot of artists. So yeah, maybe you can tell us a little bit about that as well.
Yeah, that's Vibrate, the biggest source for live music insights. Right now, we are collecting and analyzing about 5 billion data points per day, which is huge, and we have 350,000 people, artists there, 500,000 events, and 90,000 venues. So imagine how big that is, and how we could help an artist. Really easy these days. It's kind of hard to even invest money in your own website, and we give you that. You know, we could give you, especially if you're a long tail artist, it's hard for you, and this is where we come in. You know, we can provide you with that, with promotion. We can help you, and yeah, I would suggest if you don't have a page yet, go to Vibrate and make one.
Cool. So yeah, we're a little pushed.
One more thing. Yeah, one more thing.
Easy.
One more thing. Well, we've in your goodie bag, there's this one coin that we prepared for you. It has just one coin and has 10,000 vibes, but there's like a lottery. One has it, and there's about the equivalent of €400 award. So a tombola for you.
That's not it.
Anyway, hold on that. Those vibes, they're gonna be worth millions. Joke.
It's great stuff, but it's exactly these kind of platforms.
Everybody's interested now. Sorry. Yeah, it's a crypto coin, exactly. Yeah, we are.
But that's it.
I am heavily involved in the crypto scene. I love it. I'm enthusiastic about it, and yeah.
Cool.
Awesome.
So yeah, we're a little pushed for time. So just to echo Christopher's sentiments on my point, I think Christopher's exactly right. You have to have a unique individual expression, and you need to be able to focus on yourself in order to become the best version of yourself. But the best version of yourself is also somebody who in the right ways can collaborate. And it's the right balance of understanding when it's time to partner up, and then it's understanding when it might be time for you to lead that more solitary kind of existence. And it's all to do with intention at the end of the day, as far as I'm concerned. If you've got the positive intention that you want to grow, then that means you also must have a positive intention for other people to grow. You know, like I like to say is that, you know, whatever you endorse endorses you, and whatever you damns you. You know, so it's about the energy that you put out there. And if you put negative energy out there, you're going to get negative energy back. If you put positive energy out there and you want to help people, I can tell you from first-hand experience, the amount of assistance and, you know, help that I've had in return is absolutely monumental. You'll get it 10 times back, which is not the reason why I do it. I do it because I want to do it. So, right, moving on. Now we've had the crypto coin hunt as well. I mean, you were all looking.
Did somebody find it? Did somebody find it or not?
No, it's in my bag. That's my that's my payment for this. Anyway.
Somebody's gonna find it for sure.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like the golden ticket in Willy Wonka, isn't it? So anyway, right. The next statement is the music industry grew significantly in the past decade, and today every kid with a Mac can be a producer. I mean, there's some people with PCs in this audience that are really pissed off. There's a chaos on the market, and the industry is clearly in need for some standardization and order.
Standardization?
Yeah.
Order?
Yeah. Exactly.
Let's go punk. I mean, fuck it.
Wishful thinking.
Yeah. But I mean, I think that there is certainly no real curatorial aspect. You know, the record labels were assholes in lots of ways, but there was a sense of curatorial energy about it.
Yeah.
So that's interesting because now there's a lot of noise out there, and it's hard to kind of dig through a plethora of huge amount of releases. Some are just done on a laptop and not great quality. Some have an amazing vibe and the production is shit, but it doesn't matter because it's amazing. But it's really hard to dig through and find it. So curatorial stuff is needed, but then also it's quite democratized now in lots of ways. Maybe I'm being a bit idyllic, but
Labels are filters.
Right?
Labels are modern filters.
Yeah, there are modern filters. So they have a curatorial aspect, which I think is still really important.
Massively.
For me, I'm really happy that every kid can be a DJ and a producer with a laptop. That's you know. Imagine how many people couldn't express themselves before, where you could have to find a synthesizer, pay a fortune. Right now, everybody has a computer at home, and I shouldn't say this, but I even support guys to download pirate programs at the beginning. But honestly, if you're gonna work, if this is gonna be your job, pay them later, you know. But you know, everybody should make music if they have, if they're interested in that, and if they have something to say. And back in the days when I started, it was so heavy to buy machinery. For example, just one simple sampler costed about 2,000 Deutschmark back then, and there were 3 guys had to work in Slovenia for 1 month to afford that. Right now, it's easy to start to work on music, and this is why so much music is coming out. So much amazing artists are popping out all around the world, and actually I love it.
Yeah, I think there's something to be said about the. I agree with both of you, I've got to say. I mean, I owned a record store back in the last days of vinyl, and the thing that I go back to from those days is that the quality filter came in because somebody somewhere was going to have to put their hand in their pocket and print and like have a load of vinyl pressed. And now that's totally gone. Because the risk was, if you didn't get the A&R right, and if you didn't get that record right, somebody somewhere was going to be sat with a garage full of unsold vinyl for the rest of their lives. And that was the financial thing that caused the curation and the real quality filters to happen. And I agree with UMEK in that labels are existing as filters. The issue that we have is that every man, woman, and dog right now has a record label, and the path to market is now, there is no boundary to market at all. So there's a balance to be struck, but the right labels are still doing that filtering in a really good way.
Yeah, but for example, if you have a shitty label, Beatport will not take you. I mean, there's a lot of shitty labels there anyway. Yeah, but there were a lot of shitty records back in the days as well. We had to drive hundreds of miles to check through the records, and believe me, amount of records, the shitty records that I went through vinyl is almost the same as now. But okay, there are other platforms right now that they take whatever Beatport doesn't take, and it just goes, quality just fades away, and this is one point as well.
But still, a lot of music comes out like on a weekly basis, where you have to go through it and like you click new releases for a change, instead of just listening to promos, and then you get like so much.
But I'm a DJ. If I'm not going to do that, I shouldn't play
that's
anywhere.
That's true.
That's the
true.
simplest thing. They ask me, like I go through every single release, all tracks I listen on Beatport. Believe me, it takes shitloads of time. But to find some tracks that other doesn't, it's worth it. And I'm a DJ.
No, that's true.
If you're bothered about music, too much music, go do something else.
But that's true. But don't you think it's weird that somehow in this world where quality is like so, like when it's not good quality, it's not getting you anywhere, but still somehow it's coming through. That is what I find fascinating. Like,
what's coming through? Like,
well, music
it
that is in
doesn't.
general, like
it really doesn't.
Yeah.
On the end, you have all these. It doesn't come through. There's shitloads of releases, and they don't go anywhere. You
but
have
that's
your
what I mean, but
labels.
it's still out. It's still like labels out there that things like
Of course
that
they
it
are.
is good, and that it's not getting them
It's
anywhere.
not
But
good.
still, they keep releasing it.
Yes, and
That's
it's
weird.
Yeah, but label is releasing. It doesn't sell. Then artist doesn't want to sign it, and it's the end. It's simple as that. It's just more noise, but there's still good music, and you should search through it. And I don't know. We are now. It's crazy. We're complaining about we have more music to. That's a good thing, guys.
That's true.
That's a good thing.
It's always a good thing. Yeah, musical freedom is always good. That's true.
Yeah, I mean, just to expand on that, there's a couple of different things. There's two different things I'd like to raise, and one is that actually one of the things I feel as if we're missing is walking. I mean, I might be biased because I used to own a record shop, but walking into a record shop and being able to say to someone who has already been through every single release that's come out that week, and be able to go, right, what's good? What I used to love doing for people, whether it was big DJs like Sasha, right the way down. Yeah, exactly. I'm getting to that point. But the thing is that you can then walk into a record shop and somebody can go, right, you don't need to listen to that. Here's the 50 things you need to listen to this week.
Wrong, way wrong. You made a Beatport. You made your store chart to someone who would find something really good in those records you couldn't. That's
but
just
what
a
if that
personal taste.
person,
I agree.
But what if that person was curating those releases for those people? For their what if the person behind the counter in the record shop actually knew your taste very, very well and was like, you'd like this, and this.
I doubt in these days you could calculate that, and
I did
some
on
will
many
suggest-
occasions, and it kept
I
me in
know-
business for a number of years.
I know you did, but imagine I'm sure there were some records, because I always did it like that. I went to shops and they brought me all this pile of good records, but then I went through all the shitty records and I find a lot of ones that I like. This is my personal taste, and they never guessed. Half of the records I found somewhere else.
Yeah,
Sure.
I mean, sure. Yeah, I mean, they're both right. And then now, I mean, actually, I was talking to a very good friend of mine. He's a well-known DJ on Tuesday night, and we were saying about how good Spotify has become now for music discovery. You make some playlists of stuff that you really like. I mean, he's compiling stuff for a mix CD at the moment, and the things that Spotify is spitting back at him are like things that he's never heard before, things from like 10, 15 years ago, things that he might have missed, obscure B-sides.
Yeah.
So there's that now as the modern filter as well. Sorry,
Yeah, actually, Spotify has helped out a lot in terms of like making it easier for you and actually give you a little bit of different taste on maybe some of the playlists that you might create, and it gives you some sort of other options that might be similar to what you like. It's cool, but I feel like it's just like anything. I remember back in the day, like going to a record store, you search through music. That's what makes you different as a DJ as well. And like now that we have like all this let's say noise that is coming in because it's just so much music that is being released. I understand, like I go through like maybe 1,000 songs and I find like 10 or 20 that I like, you know. So, but that's your job as a DJ. I feel like that makes it even more fun because you can create some really creative playlists that is made out of shady music that you might call, and you only use like parts of the track, and that makes you different. When you mix it properly, you just like, whoa, like what is that, you know? But I think that in terms of maybe Beatport or other like platforms that are releasing music, maybe it could be arranged properly because like some of these genres, like it's techno and then it's just does not sound like what I call techno, you know. So it's like obviously it's like maybe generalized.
Like, no,
yeah, maybe it doesn't really matter exactly.
No, listen,
Yeah.
listen, guys. It's like with Vibrate, we had the same problem because there are some artists on our charts which doesn't belong there. But imagine how many filters you have to make for every single genre, and they are born every day. It's impossible, and it's like. Yeah, who decides? You know, now it's this, now it's that, and I mean, it's always there's going to be always a complaint what style is called, and it's literally impossible to. I mean, we're doing our best to point you the right way, but it's kind of hard still.
I mean, maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe it doesn't, huh? It's all music.
It's good or bad. They're the only two things we need to know.
It's funny because Carl and I talk about we talk about this on a philosophical level quite a lot, and he, as we all know, is one of the longest-standing purveyors, curators of music in the scene. And his comment is, and I totally agree, is we're in a completely new world now. I was DJing in my hometown in Ireland recently, and I pulled out my record, which was on vinyl, and I'm very proud of the fact that it's on vinyl, even though I fucking spent a load of money and haven't sold a copy. Anyway, like you're talking about. Anyway, but the thing is, my young cousin was there, 15-year-old, and I pulled it out and I was putting on. She goes, "What's that?" That's my record. She goes, "What's a record?" And I said, put it on. She said, and then I changed the side. She said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm changing the side." She goes, "Doesn't it just play forever?" It's a whole new world. These kids don't even know what records are. They listen to Spotify. They have continuous music. They've got more access now than we ever had. And that's really, really exciting. And I'm actually really excited to hear the kind of music that she's going to be making actually soon.
And one more thing about records you told and shops. Imagine I was born and living all my life in Ljubljana, and the only shop, I mean the nearest shop, we had to drive 400 kilometers to get those records. So believe me, when digital era came, I was more than happy because like I travel around the world, but the city where I've been the most times, it's Munich, just because I went there every 2 or 3 weeks to buy records for years and years and years and years. Imagine that. So, I'm so happy we are in digital era right now. So happy.
Janko, anything to add?
Well, I just want to add about the Spotify and the earlier issues you mentioned, the filters. Like when you get the entry barrier down, like the financial entry barrier, now everybody can do music. But basic economy means that you have oversaturation of music, so you really need the filters. And about the Spotify thing you guys mentioned earlier, that's one of the things I don't completely agree, because that's based on algorithms. So yes, you get new stuff from your Spotify, but in the end, it's AI deciding what you like based on the other stuff you like. So if it gets a bit more complex, then in the end, do you really need a DJ? If the AI can decide what you like based on what you liked before, and it gets it right every time, do you need a DJ?
Well, that's an interesting point that we don't have time for today, thankfully.
You have one more? Do you have one more?
As well, we have two more. We have two more.
Let's do one.
Let's do one.
Yeah.
What, like leave, like do one?
Just one more thing. But when you said like curating records for DJs, that's wrong. But curating music for a person who just listens to his music at home, like from time to time, that's okay. But curating for a DJ, that's his job. But an average person goes to Spotify. Why?
What if he's using the curation? Because I know a lot of very big DJs who are using Spotify in that way, and they're using it in addition to what they're doing.
I have to say, I do agree with you a little bit.
I use it
with Paul because but I mean, like, if it gets you, it doesn't mean how do you get interesting music for your set?
Doesn't matter.
If it helps you, you know, it doesn't really. Why do you have to go through 100 if you go to 500?
Because you're lazy.
And no, I'm not. Listen, I'm saying like you spend. No, I'm saying like no. Listen, I'm saying like you spend like 2 hours going through music. In those 2 hours, you go in the normal way, like you mentioned, you go through 100 tracks. Let's say like or something like that. Maybe in that way, you've gone through like 500 or 1,000, and if it gets you that quality music that you need for your set, then each method
You
could
have to
work.
go
You know?
Also, as well, by the time you get to 1,000, are you really listening?
Exactly.
Like,
So
are you just
do you still?
completely
Yes,
just
you should.
numb by
Yes,
that
you should.
point?
No,
Because it's also
th-
personalized what you
like-
play. You know.
Once again, you are lazy if you don't do it. You have to go through
It's still
every
2
single
hours.
thing.
It's 2 hours listening to music.
No,
the
it's
same
8
kinda-
hours. It's 10 hours music of listening. Like, man, sometimes I'm like, ask my fiance
Just as
there,
an
like,
example,
I'm dying there at the beatport. My head is exploding. I don't know what's my name anymore, but I still go through that. And for me as a professional, that's I cannot discuss about it. But let me tell you about AI. I'm sure that AI knows better what's good for this average listener than himself. I'm sure. With all the big data, computer can predict better for an average listener. DJ is a different story.
Okay. So,
It's all good.
Feeling
Good about himself, right?
Chris looks like he's about to rip a man's head off over here. Like,
you like crypto as well.
dude, this is it's gonna be a long
Yeah, it's
night.
coming from the
It's gonna be
crypto
a-
guy,
It's
right?
gonna be a long night.
I am all about new things because smarter kids are coming. 'Cause with music, it's the same with everything. Kids are coming, and we are all dinosaurs, and I don't want to die in dark, not knowing what new generation can come. And I'm open to new things, and I always am, always be.
All right. So the final question, the final statement, which is in no way controversial whatsoever. Get ready. Your marketing is more important than your music. Anyone want to start while I leave the room? True. How dare you?
So it's funny because being here this week, I had conversations with friends that I've been producing for quite some time, and trust me, their music is great, is good. It's a little bit above average, I would say, but and they have record labels and all that. It's just that they suck at promoting themselves or promoting their labels, and so it's like, how can people listen to your music? How can people find out about you when you're not putting yourself out there? So it's not like the music is bad. Your music is good. You got one thing right, which is your music. Now, how can you get the music out there? Because now it's not like you're printing records and there's only like 10 record stores in your city that you can go to and grab the music from. Now you have like all this technology and like many different platforms that you get access to, and this is like now you have like thousands and millions of people that you can get access to your music. But how can you get it out there when there's like thousands of you making music too, right?
So you pay the PR people who are making the money in the industry. Oh. Did I say that out loud?
Yeah, you want a mic in front of you then, Chris.
No, I mean, but that's collaboration comes in there again. There are people who are really, really great at the marketing side, and you can work with them. But it's freaking hard. Everybody, now when I started, no doubt yourself, I was just into the music. I didn't want to run my own social media program. Freaking Instagram and all this stuff, it still drives me nuts. And so it is difficult. Now you have to be a producer, a DJ, a live act, a marketing guy, a label owner, a designer, a photographer, a fashionista. Well, that's okay because you just wear black. It's fine, like a model. You have to look really good on this side or this side. You got to make sure that you're in the right spot, and you have to have all the filters on your phone for the photos. It's actually really difficult. I mean, I don't want to fucking do that.
Yeah, but that's why you don't get to listening to the music.
Please tell us.
Let's make an app where all the introverted DJs who doesn't post pictures would do this. I mean, this app would do this for them artificially. Just make us nice and all the nice stories about us. And this is how we
Tinder?
can. Yeah, for sure. These days, yes. And so this
Sounds like my love life, to be honest.
So an app to make us introverted DJs nice and interesting would be a really cool solution, you know, so we can fight against all these nice ladies with looks.
Oh, he had to go there, didn't he?
Yeah.
He had to go there. And there's some nice
You mean-
ladies in the room as well.
You mean,
I'm saying.
you mean hashtag techno? Yeah, I do that. Hashtag, me too. I do hashtag techno, and then I look at hashtag techno, and there's all these busty girls shuffling. That's not techno. I don't know what techno
'Cause
is. but-
this subject is not as controversial yet, so let me take it up a notch. Yes.
Yeah, raise the tone for us. will ya?
Yeah, because like you said, you know, you can be the best DJ, but if nobody hears your music, you know, you can be the best producer, but if they don't get to your music, they could never know you. But then now, at least the last year, you get a lot of the artists that their music is okay, but their marketing is so much on point, they're not driving the other music industries or the other promoters or record label owners, they're driving their target group, the crowd, the kids, to listen, to look at them at Instagram, and the demand is rising. So in that case, like, it might happen at the time, if you can promote yourself good enough to the average customer, then you don't really need to make quality music, because they are gonna want you. And if there's demand, there's supply. I know it's sad, that's why.
I have another solution. You're gonna laugh again. When we were starting Vibrate, my idea was to somehow calculate the art, which is now boo, you know, and everything. But imagine beside all the mixes on YouTube, you would have like a technical skill scale where you would do, where would you calculate if your mix is in key, if how many tracks are mixed together, the power of the music. It does.
No, but what if the track is amazing and
No, it's track. Listen to this. Let's go. Madonna is singing live, and we know that she sucks at singing live. And then Beyonce is singing really good live, and she gets the same attention. And that's not fair. It's all about the mathematics, and I'm not arguing about against the art. It's just one little scale beside the taste of the people.
It's interesting. But then what about if there's an amazing track? It's produced shit, but the vibe is amazing. The performance is amazing. The recording is distorted as all fuck, but it sounds incredible.
It's amazing. I'm saying a small scale against just a small scale with the people. I'm saying like a small scale where technical stuff would be if it is on point or not, if it is distorted or not, doesn't matter. People will still love it. But people who are into the music would like listen a little bit more like on a technical side, if it's compressed right or not, this and that. Just a little scale, nothing. Wow.
Yeah, but it's an entirely subjective thing. And that's the beauty of this lovely genre of ours. So, we are out of time, unfortunately. Us five are going to go outside and have a fight.
Yeah, let's.
Let's do it.
Thanks very much, guys. That was amazing. Brilliant. Thank you to Christopher and everybody else. Peace out.